We see it all the time in America. People chasing attention, trying too hard, and wondering why they still don't get respect. But high-class living doesn't come from what you show off. It comes from what you avoid. In this video, High-Class Living, 20 Habits the Elite Avoid, we'll uncover the habits that truly polished people stay far away from. By the end, you'll see why avoiding these mistakes builds confidence, quiet power, and lasting respect. We'll walk through all 20, and I promise number 1 will surprise you. Give Luxo-Life some love, and let's begin. 20. They don't try to be liked by all. Respect beats approval. High-class people understand the difference between approval and respect. Approval fades with moods, but respect sticks. When you chase approval, you become whoever others want you to be in that moment. That might win temporary claps, but it leaves you empty. The elite avoid this trap by anchoring themselves in their values. They may not please everyone, but they keep their dignity intact. And dignity, once earned, keeps paying dividends. 19. They don't confuse loudness with leadership. Quiet lasts. Being the loudest voice doesn't make someone the leader. The elite know that real leadership is quiet authority. They don't shout to prove a point, they guide through steady decisions. Think about the people who actually move companies, communities, and cultures. They're not the ones yelling in the corner. They're the ones acting with calm confidence while others react. Noise gets attention for a moment. Composure earns trust for a lifetime. 18. They never force belonging. If forced, it's not fit. People with real self-worth don't beg for a seat at the wrong table. If you have to force your way in, that space was never meant for you. Belonging should feel natural. You should be able to stand as yourself and still be welcomed. When you know your value, you wait for the rooms that fit you, not the ones that need you to shrink or stretch to fit. 17. They don't talk badly about others. It shows their class. Gossip is cheap, and the elite know it. Talking badly about others might get a laugh in the moment, but it lowers your own credibility. They'd rather protect their peace than join in negativity. When they speak, it's either constructive or it's nothing at all. This doesn't mean pretending others are perfect. It means being selective about your words. Class is measured not by how clever your insults are, but by how wisely you choose silence. 16. They don't seek validation. Presence does that. You won't catch refined people fishing for compliments or approval online. Their presence already validates them. They don't need to explain every move or post every highlight to feel seen. The quiet way they carry themselves makes others pay attention without asking. In fact, the more grounded they are, the more people notice. Validation is a need when you lack center. Presence is enough when you know who you are. 15. They aren't always available. Scarcity earns respect. The elite guard their time. If you can call them anytime and always get through, their schedule isn't really theirs anymore. By protecting access, they send a message: my time matters. That doesn't mean they're rude or distant. It means they value balance and boundaries. Scarcity handled with grace earns respect. It keeps relationships healthier because when you do make time for someone, they know it's real. 14. They don't speak just to fill space. Silence says more. In a culture where everyone wants the last word, high-class people find strength in restraint. They don't jump in every silence just to be heard. They know that holding back can be more powerful than talking. And when they do speak, their words carry weight. Silence isn't emptiness, it's presence. That ability to stay quiet when others are scrambling to talk creates mystery, authority, and respect. 13. They never lower standards. Proximity dilutes. This one deserves extra emphasis. Standards are the line you draw to protect your worth. Lowering them to keep people close only dilutes who you are. The elite know that comfort, loneliness, or pressure should never rewrite your values. If someone can only stay in your life when you drop your standards, they're not meant to be there. Whether it's in business, friendships, or self-discipline, they keep the bar high. And here's the lesson. The people who belong will rise to meet that bar. The ones who don't were never meant to stay. 12. They avoid posting everything visibility isn't value. In the age of oversharing, they hold back. Not because they're hiding something, but because they know privacy is power. Posting every move turns life into a performance. Keeping things private turns life into an experience. Their joy doesn't depend on likes, comments, or reposts. Their value isn't measured by visibility. Some of their best wins never make it to the public eye, and that's exactly why they're more respected. 11. They don't explain silence, they let it speak. When the elite go quiet, they don't justify it. They don't send long explanations about why they pulled back, why they didn't answer, or why they chose peace. Their silence is intentional. It speaks without words. Silence can mean, I'm thinking, I'm protecting my peace, or this doesn't deserve my energy. Whatever the meaning, they let others figure it out. That control over their presence makes their silence more powerful than most people's noise. 10. They don't flex connections, real ones stay discreet. Showing off who you know is a quick way to look insecure. High-class people protect their connections by keeping them private. You won't hear them name-dropping at every opportunity. Their relationships thrive on discretion. Real power circles prefer privacy because attention can cheapen loyalty. The elite understand that who you know doesn't make you valuable, how you treat them and how you live does. 9. They never compete for attention. High-class just island. They don't beg to be noticed. You won't see them one-upping stories or forcing the spotlight. Quiet confidence attracts attention without effort. When you're secure in your value, you don't need to prove it every time you enter a room. The elite don't hustle for the spotlight. The spotlight finds them. That's the difference between chasing relevance and owning presence. 8. They don't try to be relatable. Uniqueness is key. Being relatable means blending into the crowd, but uniqueness makes you unforgettable. High-class people choose uniqueness. They're not worried about being understood by everyone. They're focused on being remembered. This shows up in style, in choices, and in how they live. The crowd is forgotten by next week. Originals are remembered for decades. 7. They avoid over-apologizing, especially for their space. There's a difference between accountability and constant apologizing. The elite understand this. They'll own a mistake, but they won't apologize for existing, resting, or setting boundaries. Over-apologizing cheapens your presence. It makes people forget your time matters too. Instead of shrinking to make others comfortable, they stay firm. That quiet firmness communicates more strength than 1,000 empty apologies ever could. 6. They don't chase trends. Style lasts beyond seasons. Trends are temporary. Style is permanent. The elite avoid chasing every new thing just to stay in the loop. They don't need the latest fad to feel relevant. Their choices, whether clothes, design, or lifestyle, are timeless. That's why they never look out of place. When everyone else looks dated 6 months later, their style still works. The lesson is simple: don't trade timelessness for temporary applause. Stability outlasts hype every time. 5. They never name drop presence, needs no proof. High-class people don't lean on others' names to boost their own. They don't sprinkle conversations with famous friends or powerful contacts to sound important. Their confidence doesn't come from association, it comes from character. the way they move, the way they treat people, the energy they bring, that's proof enough. Name dropping is for people who need backup. Presence needs no proof. 4. They don't react to disrespect, distance beats, drama. This one's a game changer. Most people waste time clapping back, arguing online, or trying to get the last word. The elite don't. They understand that reacting to disrespect gives it power. Instead, they use distance. Walking away communicates control. Silence and absence sting more than an argument ever could. They don't waste time wrestling with disrespect. They rise above it, and that's exactly why they hold peace others can't touch. 3. They avoid bragging about luxury. True wealth is quiet. True wealth doesn't need a parade. The elite don't brag about their cars, watches, or homes. They don't flex receipts online. Real wealth is felt, not shown. It's in the calm of their voice, the patience in their choices, the ease with which they live. Flashy bragging usually means insecurity. Quiet confidence usually means stability. And stability, not noise, is the real luxury. 2. They don't explain their standards, they live them instead. You'll never hear them preach endlessly about why they're disciplined, loyal, or hardworking. They just live it. Over time, their standards become clear without a single speech. Explaining standards is wasted energy. Living them builds legacy. When you see consistency in action, you don't need words. That's the difference between the crowd and the class above it. I won. They never overshare. Their life mystery attracts. This is the most powerful. They don't put their whole life on display. Privacy builds presence. The less people know, the more they want to know. Mystery attracts naturally. The elite understand that when everything is public, nothing feels valuable. So they hold parts of their lives back. It's not about secrecy, it's about selectivity, and that selectivity makes them magnetic. So there it is, Luxo lovers. 20 habits the elite avoid to keep their presence, their peace, and their power intact. No chasing applause, no competing for attention, no lowering the bar. Just steady confidence and clarity. If one of these shifted your perspective, drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone aiming for more refined living, and if you're new here, subscribe to Luxo-Life and hit the bell so you never miss a new upload. Thank you for watching, Luxo lovers. Until next time, live with confidence, live with clarity, and carry quiet power everywhere you go.